And Chris, there's one angle that we didn't fully explore as it relates to the New York Jets and their search for a new general manager. Basically, who will be the next GM of the Jets? Joe Douglas, the name that has come up. Daniel Jeremiah's name has been thrown out there. Louis Riddick reportedly will interview. Look, they want a strategic thinker. They want a leader. The kind of guy they want may not be available right now. Somebody who would perfectly fit exactly what Christopher Johnson wants. And I think it makes it even more likely that they're going to get a guy that Adam Gase wants to essentially be the glorified table setter for Gase, almost like what John Gruden has in Oakland with Mike Mayock. I think that's what Gase is going to end up with in New York.
Yeah, well, I agree with you there. I don't know if Gase will get overall arching power over every move that's made the way like John Gruden has as far as that situation. I would actually hope that Adam Gase does not. I hope that they hire a GM that Adam Gase will trust to make those decisions, and he doesn't have to worry about that aspect of the business right now and just coach the football team and make the team as good on the field as possible. But Joe Douglas is where it started and ended for me. When we first heard these rumors, prior to the draft, Joe Douglas was the name I heard from a number of people. And to me, I would think he is a leader in the clubhouse. To me and my understanding too, and I don't know all this and I haven't made all the connections and calls yet too, I don't think Adam Gase and Joe Douglas have worked together. Maybe I'm wrong. I just think there must be a professional, relationship, and they've met each other many times, I'm guessing in the NFL circles, and they apparently like what each other says about football and evaluating players and whatever it may be. But Joe Douglas, I mean, come on, he was working with the Baltimore Ravens for a long, long time. He certainly knows what it takes to build a successful team. The years he was there, gosh, they were relevant, Super Bowl, playoff conversation almost every single year. Got to work under guys like Ozzie Newsome and Eric DaCosta, a lot of great minds there. And now the last few years been with the Philadelphia Eagles, to where just at very base value, that's an impressive two teams, Chicago Bears sandwiched in between. That's a pretty good resume and some pretty good spots that he's been at.
There was an overlap between Douglas and Gase in Chicago.
Oh, that's
Gase
where it
was. The
was.
offensive
Gotcha.
coordinator with Jay Cutler as the quarterback.
Thank you.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
And this is where this whole dance of final say becomes very intriguing, because if Gase is going to hold final say, you can't hire away a Joe Douglas if he's still under contract with the Eagles, unless the Eagles are fine letting him go. The only way you can pluck a guy from another team who is under contract without that team saying, yeah, sure, go ahead and leave, and rarely does a team do that, is if you're giving him final say, traditional GM powers. And what we could have here ultimately, because I still think, Chris, that Gase is going to be the king of the Jets football organization when this is all said and done. What we could have here is another Eric Mangini, George Kokinis situation. When Mangini was the coach of the Browns, and they hired George Kokinis away from the Ravens to be the GM, Kokinis had final say in writing, but he was foolish enough to think he actually had final say. Mangini ran the show. They put what they had to put in the contract to get Kokinis. And it wouldn't surprise me if at the end of the day, that same kind of thing plays out with the Jets, with the new GM ostensibly having final say, but Gase running the program. And I think that Gase dynamic is going to hover over this. And if you're Christopher Johnson at this point, if you're making this move, you want a GM that's going to work with your coach. You want a GM that the coach wants. Right. You don't want to bring in a GM from scratch who's going to say, okay, everything looks fine here. First thing I got to do is get rid of the coach.
Yeah, no, I mean, agreed. I mean, you want somebody that the coach believes in, that the coach can trust. When the coach goes to coach the football team, he doesn't have to worry about, gosh, I hope this guy is doing, his job up to my expectation levels here, why I can't keep my eye on the personnel department and all those things. So that's why I think it makes a lot of sense from that standpoint. I hope they don't give Adam Gase full power over the roster. I'm hoping that's why they're having this conversation, because this is a guy that Adam Gase trusts with the vision of the roster and the team in general, and he knows that he can add his 2 cents into the conversation as far as evaluating players and everything like that anyways. But just that would be my advice to Adam Gase. Coach the football team. I know he's capable of making roster moves. I also know in Miami it didn't go great, and I know it wasn't all his fault, because as you know, as I know, there's a lot more issues going on behind the scenes in Miami than I think people realize. So I would just like to see him coach the team and let other people handle the roster stuff.
Biggest problem in Miami, there isn't an owner who lives in town and is in the building every day. Christopher Johnson spending more time at the Jets facility. It's important to have the person who signs the checks and can tell people to come and go.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.